What would it take to win the hearts and minds of the people we live and work with? That's the question we asked at MyDriving4Life, and the answer may surprise you. Daniel Yankelovich, one of the most influential sociologists of our time, surveyed American workers and asked them, how many of you would agree that you put in as little time and effort as you can get away with without being fired from your job? Surprisingly, 44% agreed. At MyDriving4Life, this strikes us as a tragic waste of people's time and talent. It's easy to hire people's hands, feet, and backs to get work done. But if you want people to invest more of themselves than just what's required, it is absolutely necessary to address their feelings and their needs. We don't leave our feelings and needs in the closet when we go to work or school. We carry them with us into every interaction and relationship of our lives. This is what makes us human. Feelings are to human beings what gasoline and a GPS is to a car. Our feelings are the energy that fuels our actions. They also serve as our guidance system, pointing us in the right direction to meet our needs. This is just one of the many striking similarities between skillful driving and skillful living. In most classrooms, offices, and homes, feelings and needs are not given the importance they deserve. It doesn't feel good when our feelings or needs are ignored. When this happens, we often feel upset, angry, or sad. These feelings are indications that our needs have not been addressed or satisfied. Everything we do in the service of a need. That's what world-renowned communication expert Marshall Rosenberg teaches. He says the reason people act is to satisfy a need. Rosenberg focuses on this principle when he works in some of the most troubled areas of the world, such as Rwanda, Croatia, and the Middle East. By showing how to acknowledge other people's feelings and needs while staying connected to our own feelings and needs, he opens the way for people to resolve conflict peacefully. It's a bit like merging onto a highway without crashing into the other drivers. Everyone has legitimate needs. The most basic of these needs are survival, safety, belonging, self-esteem, and the need to realize our full potential. This was the primary discovery made by social psychologist Abraham Maslow in 1943. This is basic human technology. One of our most basic needs is safety, and when safety is not present, individuals will take matters into their own hands and create safety for themselves. This impacts results in a profound way. When individuals are focused on their own safety, it is harder to take the risks required for collaboration and creativity. This discovery, coupled with recent advances in neurobiology, allows a profound and helpful insight to emerge. Needs are hardwired into our nervous system, beginning with the part of our brain that developed first, our reptilian brain. This primitive core is primarily designed for one purpose, to ensure our safety and survival. When in danger, our reptilian brain kicks into action and takes charge, reacting instinctively with a fight, flight, or freeze response. This instant reaction can save our lives when we're physically threatened. In 3, 2, and 1. Our bodies have only a finite amount of blood in them, and as such, when our reptilian reaction kicks into gear, shifting us into fight, flight, or freeze, our blood is redirected to our body's core and to our arms and legs to make it possible to defend ourselves and away from our brain's higher reasoning center, the neocortex. When the fight, flight, or freeze reaction is activated, our reptilian brain is in the driver's seat, and our neocortex takes the back seat. Many jobs still involve serious physical risk, but for most of us in today's modern workplace, our physical safety is rarely threatened. But this does not mean that the fight, flight, or freeze instinct is gone. Instead, when our emotional, mental, and professional survival is threatened, our reptilian brain interprets these signals as if our physical existence were threatened. We respond to the threat with fear and anxiety, the modern-day equivalent of a hungry dinosaur or saber-toothed tiger chasing us. However, the dinosaur means us no disrespect. It's only trying to meet its own need for survival. This is equally true in our interactions with human beings. Disrespect is rarely, if ever, the motivation for a comment that we interpret as disrespect. They are simply trying to meet their own needs. We may feel disrespected when, An idea we floated is ignored or ridiculed, and we feel angry. We make a comment only to have someone roll their eyes and appear bored, and we feel frustrated. Or when we share a sincere opinion and someone across the table whispers and laughs, and we feel disappointed. In each of these situations, we might feel angry, frustrated, or disappointed because we have a need for respect that is not being met. This signals disrespect, causing our reptilian brain to kick into overdrive. While this is how we are hardwired, this does not mean that our reactions are locked in. This is where the rubber meets the road. If we do not address our feelings and needs, we allow them to take charge of us. Instead, we can address our needs in a way that resolves conflict and restores respect. How do we create an atmosphere of respect and at the same time accomplish the task at hand? Is that even possible, much less practical? At MyDriving4Life, we say yes. How? Flow. Flow is not a trait that some people have and others don't. Flow is a skill that anyone can learn. It creates dynamic stability by addressing the feelings and needs of others, which leads to respect being restored. Flow is courageous curiosity. It means keeping our relationships real while keeping them safe. This enhances our relationships, and that naturally leads to better results. This is what we provide at MyDriving4Life. It is having the courage to state our own opinions, to self-define while staying open and curious about another person's ideas, even if we disagree with each other. When in a state of flow, we're curious about the facts of a situation, about the other person and their ideas. This sends a signal to the person that we respect them. When we feel respected, we feel safe, and we can access our skills, ideas, and competencies. This is a bit like merging into traffic, where we create safe space for ourselves by respecting the safety of others. This is when we achieve exceptional results, both in business and in our personal relationships. For example, in 1995, the Lincoln Continental sedan was going through a redesign, and the project was in real trouble. A team of 300 employees was already 4 months behind and over budget. Yet, when it was completed, the same team of 300 people accomplished these bottom-line results. 1. They completed 700 changes in specifications at a savings of $60 million in a $90 million budget. 2. They finished 1 month ahead of schedule despite starting 4 months late. And 3, they created a car that was seen by the industry and by consumers as one of the best cars Lincoln ever built. What changed? Most people would assume that it was a technical solution, one of engineering or production, but that was not the case. What they discovered was the roadblocks they were experiencing were not technical, but human. In particular, it was really about trust and communication. To overcome this roadblock, during production meetings, 2 whiteboards were put into place. At the top of one were the words, "What was said or done?" And at the top of the other were the words, "Unspoken thoughts or feelings." The team soon learned their assumptions about each other simply were not true. They discovered their unspoken thoughts and feelings were being interpreted as disrespect, and their results were suffering. Their focus shifted at the moment of perceived disrespect from getting results to regaining dignity. They realized that respect is like air. It's the only thing you can think about when it is not there. So, here is our bottom line. When we find ourselves operating out of our best skills and competencies, rather than out of our most basic instincts of self-preservation and self-protection, we make an astonishing discovery. We learn that what is good for business and what is good for people are not mutually exclusive, but rather mutually enhancing. With safety and respect in place, our interactions with others will accelerate our progress and will clear the road ahead to better accomplish the task at hand. That's not just good for people, that is good for business. And this is what MyDriving4Life is all about.